Hi guys, welcome to another edition of Football Heaven 24/7. I'm your host Jamie Carter. We're going to just run through it really quickly. The weekend's action going from the 27th through to the 29th of August. So going straight into it, in the Premier League on Saturday just gone, Arsenal were up against Fulham in the evening kickoff. Um, in the game, Fulham have had a great start to the season. They've already had a couple of good draws, a good win already at home against local rivals Brentford last week, 3-2. And they came into it pretty strong. Arsenal have been on a great run. They'd won three of the previous games. In the game, Fulham took an early lead in the second half. Mitrovic scored. He's on fire at the moment. I believe he's got 4 goals already this season in 4 games, which is fantastic. After people slating him, saying he wasn't good enough for the Premier League, he was only good enough for scoring in the Championship. He scored earlier on, but 2 goals later on in the game, an equaliser from the Arsenal captain Odegaard on the 64th minute, who's also had a good start to the season with 3 goals already, and a goal 4 minutes before the end for Gabriel, the Arsenal defender, helped Arsenal to a 2-1 win over Fulham in that game. Then with the second game we went into, Brentford was playing Everton. Everton had a really, really poor start to the season. They'd only drawn 1 game against Forest at home and lost the other 2. And those coming into the game, Brentford were coming off the back of a loss to Fulham 3-2, but having beaten Manchester United 4-0 the previous game before that. But they went behind early on through a goal from Anthony Gordon. Anthony Gordon has been rumoured that he was might move to Chelsea. I don't know if it will happen. I think Everton will only let him go if they need the money desperately, because he's a local lad, obviously from Liverpool. So, but he got the early goal in the 24th minute. But Janelt's got a goal for Brentford in the second half, 6 minutes before the end, and that meant the game finished 1-1 in that one. So quite a tight affair. Another point for Everton, um, but they're still in the drop zone area at the bottom with Wolves and Leicester at the moment. Brighton against Leeds. Leeds were doing fantastic so far this season. They'd already won 2 games and drawn one already. They were unbeaten in the first 3 games, but they were to lose this one narrowly to a goal from Pascal Gross for Brighton on 66 minutes, and that was 1-0 to Brighton. And then Chelsea was playing at home to Leicester City. Raheem Sterling, new sign obviously for Chelsea this season, as we know from Manchester City. He got 2 goals, one on the 47th minute and one on the 63rd. And Harvey Barnes got one back for Leicester in the 60th minute, but Chelsea ended up winning 2-1. And then the crazy scoreline of the weekend, Liverpool had a very slow start to the season. Excuse me. They'd drawn 2 games and lost one. And in the fourth game of the season, they finally won, and they won in style. They absolutely smashed Bournemouth 9-0. There was 5 goals in the first half, 2 goals for Diaz, 1 goal for Elliott. Alexander Arnold got on with a goal as well in the 28th minute. Firmino got 2 goals. Van Dijk got one, an own goal by Chris Mepham, and Carvalho, the youngster from Fulham, scored the last goal in the 80th minute. So great day for Liverpool fans. Manchester City playing up against their bogey team, Crystal Palace at home. The last few seasons, Crystal Palace have either won or drawn at Manchester City. They took a 2-0 lead for an own goal through John Stones on the 4th minute, and a goal from Joachim Anderson put them 2-0 up at half time. Now, you would have thought that Palace would have taken control of that game and finished it off and got the win, but Manchester City came back in style. No doubt they got an absolute rollicking off their manager at half time. Goal from David Silva on the 53rd minute and a hat trick from Erling Haaland puts him top goal scorer already this season with 6 goals. He did an absolutely fantastic game that helped Manchester City to come from 2 goals behind to win 4-2. And Manchester United continued their winning run after beating Liverpool in the week on the Monday. They beat Southampton narrowly 1-0 thanks to a goal from Bruno Fernandes. And then on the Sunday games, the 2 o'clock kickoffs, Aston Villa against West Ham. West Ham were yet to win in the season. They finally registered a win 1-0 away to Aston Villa with a goal from Pablo Fornals on the 74th minute. So that's the first 3 points of the season for West Ham. Forest in the evening kickoff. Well, so yeah, it was like 4:30 sort of time. They huffed and they puffed. They had a lot of chances, a lot of balls into the boxes, but nobody quick enough to finish. As a Forest fan, I was absolutely gutted that they had no one with Premier League experience in the defence when we had other options. We had a back three with 2 wing backs that could sort of fall back or come forward, but they just didn't. They had a lot of possession. Like I say, huffed and puffed, but Kane got a breakaway goal in the 5th minute, finished it off. quite easily. And then towards the end, 9 minutes before the end of the game, um, Tottenham finally sealed the victory with a diving header from Kane at the back post. Nobody was marking him for miles. It was pretty shocking. So 2-0 to Tottenham in the end. Watched that with my boy. It was a bit cringe-worthy to watch that game, but Tottenham are a really great team, and I think they're going to challenge for the title along with Arsenal, Manchester City, and Liverpool this season. So anyway, so they lost 2-0. So that kind of expected. Wolves against Newcastle, quite an interesting game. Watch this one as well on Sky. Neves got a great goal. He shot from about 20 yards out, and Alan Maximin equalised on the 90th minute, right near the end for Newcastle, with a beautiful volley to end that scoreline 1-1. So looking at the top of the Premier League table, Arsenal are top. They've won 4 games on the bounce, but no, they've not really come up against anyone too difficult yet. They've yet to play the bigger teams. But they're still at the top with 12 points after 4 games. You've got Manchester City and Tottenham and Brighton in second, third, and fourth respectively, all with 10 points. And just outside of that, you've got Leeds and Chelsea who are on a good start to the season. In the bottom 3, it's currently Everton, Wolves, and Leicester City. And as I say, not Alfinger Haaland, that's his dad. Erling Haaland is atop with 6 goals, and Mitrovic is in second with 4 goals, and Harry Kane's got 4 as well. And Leeds United's player, Rodrigo, he's got 4. So that's what happened in the Premier League. Going into the Championship, Blackburn was at home to Stoke. Now, Blackburn had a good start to the season, but they're starting to fall away a little bit recently in the last couple of games. They lost again today here, 1-0 thanks to a goal from Nathan Baker for Stoke City. And then Blackpool was at home to Bristol City. That was quite a bit of a classic game, this one. It ended 3-3. Goals from Josh Bowler, Yates and Corbino scored, and the goals from the youngster for Bristol City, Conway, Semenyo scored, and an own goal from Ekapiteti. I can't even say his name on the 70th minute. So 3-3, it looked like an absolute classic game there. Cardiff against Preston was 0-0. Huddersfield against West Brom was 2-2. 2 goals from Mandarin, the loan signing from Chelsea, and 2 goals from Wallace for West Bromwich Albion to share the points there for those teams. Another great player that's coming from Hull City from abroad from the Spanish league, Esteban. I can't even say his name. Estupiñán, whatever. He got a hat trick, and Godden got 2 goals for Coventry, who haven't played any of their home games for the last few games. You would think they'd have more energy, but Hull won this one 3-2, and they continue their rise up the table. They are now sitting in third with 11 points, so they're doing really well, Hull, unfortunately, because I'm a Scunny fan, as well as a Forest fan. But anyway, Middlesbrough then was playing against Swansea. Goals from McGree and Crooks even, and a penalty for Perot for Swansea, but the game finished 2-1 to Middlesbrough. Millwall against Reading. Reading continued their revival. They've gone from being right down the bottom after the first few games to now being top of the Championship. A goal from Sarr helped them to win away 1-0 at Millwall. Rotherham continue their solid start to the life back in the Championship. Rotherham are sitting in the playoff areas in 5th place, thanks to a 2-0 win, 2 goals from Wood against Birmingham City. And then Sunderland lost the lunchtime kickoff against Norwich, who continued their resurgence after losing the first few games of the season. Norwich City won 1-0 thanks to Josh Sargent goal. QPR had a great win away at local rivals Watford, winning 3-2. Goals from Elias Chair, Willock and Albert Adoma to score the winner. Goals from Sema and João Pedro for Watford, who João Pedro was rumoured to be going to Newcastle United, but I don't think that's happening now because Newcastle signed that Isaac from Real Sociedad. So that's what's going on in that game. Wigan against Burnley. Burnley won 5-1. Goals from Rodriguez, Brownhill to 2 goals, Teller and Bastian for Burnley, and a penalty from Keane for Wigan. The Friday night game, Luton drew 1-1 with Sheffield United at home. Morris scored for Luton and McBurney for Sheffield United. And then going into League One, I'm just going to run through these results. So at the top of the table of the Championship even, Reading were top, Sheffield United are second. In the playoff areas, you've got Hull, Norwich City, Rotherham and Burnley. Top goal scorer at the moment is that Esteban Banana, I can't even say his name, for Hull City with 7 goals. Proving to be a really good striker. 7 goals in the first 6 games of the season. In the relegation zone in the Championship, you've got Swansea, Huddersfield, and Coventry at the moment. So that's how it looks in that league. Running through League One and League Two really quickly. In League One, Accrington were playing against Exeter. That game finished 0-0. Bristol Rovers played Shrewsbury. That game finished 1-1. Cambridge against Burton Albion, 4-3 to Cambridge. Cheltenham at home to Oxford, kind of a localish derby. Cheltenham took the lead, but 2 goals from Brannigan in the second half allowed Oxford to win that one 2-1. Derby fought back from 1-0 down to win 2-1 against Peterborough at home. Ipswich drew 2-0 with Barnsley at home. Likewise, Lincoln City drew 2-0 with Fleetwood. MK Dons won 4-0 away at Morecambe. Plymouth won 2-0 at home to Bolton. And Port Vale lost 1-0 to Portsmouth. Portsmouth are top of the League One table at the moment. Sheffield Wednesday absolutely smashed Forest Green 5-0. Goals from Windus, Bannon, Palmer, Gregory and Bernard own goal. And Wycombe drew 1-1 with Charlton Athletic. So, as I said earlier, Portsmouth at the top of the League One table at the moment after 6 games. Ipswich are in second. In the playoff area, Sheffield Wednesday, Peterborough, Plymouth, Argyle and Derby County. And in the relegation zone in League One, it is Cheltenham, Forest Green, Morecambe and Burton Albion. Top goal scorer is Clark Harris for Peterborough with 5 goals. All right, we're going to jump into League Two now. League Two, just run through the results quickly from the Saturday games. AFC Wimbledon was playing at home to Barrow. They lost 1-0. Bradford drew 0-0 with Crewe Alexander. Walsall won 1-0 at home to Gillingham. Harrogate Town lost 4-0 at home to Newport County. Leyton Orient absolutely smashed Hartlepool 4-2. Goals from Moncur, Kelman Smith and Sutrio, and goals from McDonald and Umara for Hartlepool United. So that was 4-2 to Leyton Orient. That puts Leyton Orient top of the League Two table, continuing to be up the top. They've got up the top there with 16 points. Barrow in second with 15, and you've got Doncaster in third place with 14. Go back to the scores in League Two, and Northampton lost 1-0 at home to Doncaster. Rochdale drew 1-0 with Crawley Town. Salford United beat Stevenage 1-0. Stockport got a point on the board at home to Swindon 1-0. Sutton beat Mansfield 2-1. And Tranmere beat Colchester 2-0. And Grimsby Town came from behind after 5 minutes to Walsall to win 2-1. 2 goals from Clifton from Grimsby Town. So looking at the table, like I said, Leyton Orient's top, Barrow second, Doncaster third. Playoff areas in League Two, you've got Salford City, Stevenage, Northampton and Crewe. And then down in the relegation zone in League Two, you've got Hartlepool United and Rochdale. Top goal scorer in League Two at the moment is Hoskins for Northampton with 7 goals. And Danny Johnson in second with 6 goals for Walsall. So that's my review of the weekend from the Premier League and all the EFL action. Continue to like and subscribe. Get all your friends and family behind us. Get everyone knowing about the channel. We're going to put more content out. Going to go look at seasons from the past still. Still got to finish that off. I think I've got about 3 or 4 seasons to go on the Premier League era. Obviously celebrating the 30th anniversary of the Premier League. So have a great rest of the bank holiday weekend and have a great week. And whoever your teams are in the week, I'm going to do a preview on Tuesday. Well, possibly Tuesday evening. Monday. I'll probably do a preview actually of those games. In fact, I'll do an episode later on. I can't even decide, but this is live. That's the main thing. None of this editing all the time. But yeah, we're going to do a rundown on another episode of the games to come for this week. So, like I said, have a great week. All the best for now. Bye for now.